Hello everyone, and it's me again, Pam with Tattered Paper and Lace, and it's another Monday. It's not a manic Monday, but it's another Monday. And when it's on a Monday, you know what happens. Say it with me. Margarete Miller collage challenge. And we're on week 30. So what does that leave? 15 some weeks? No, 52, 22 weeks. 22 weeks left after this week. Wow, this year is going by quickly. Okay, let's get started on this because this is going to be a quick one. This is a very neutral one in color, so be prepared for that. So if you go to hashtag 2025CWP30, you will find others who are doing the same challenge with these same prompts. So what we have today is something with wavy lines or patterns, a black and white photograph, something featuring a bold typography, a musical instrument, something you find in a car, and an oval. I was able to get all of these things done this time. And I'm going to back you out just a little bit because I want to show you kind of some of my thought process. I usually have it all planned out and I just show you what I'm going to use, but I will show you some of the things that I had considered. For the black and white photo, I had considered these three, and but I had decided, because I wanted to make it an oval, all of these would work with the oval that I was going to do. So any of these would work, but I decided to go with this gentleman, and he came out of, let me show you the picture he came out of. I'm going to show you this. This is just a sticker frame that came from these frames, and it was right here. And so I just stuck it on the photo where I wanted it to go. And I didn't mean to do that without you, but I was putting it all together and I just did it. And I went, oh, I shouldn't have done this without them. So I apologize for that. But I'll show you where it came from. So here's the photo that it came out of. He is in a barracks or something, it looks like. He's military. I'm guessing Army, but I really don't know. I can't really tell enough by the other uniforms that are hanging here, and then there's some beds in the background. So I'm thinking he must have been at barracks somewhere with this photo. So this is the photo I decided to use. And then I had some other bold, what was it? Bold. So that's my black and white photograph, and my oval is this guy. And then bold typography, I had considered this neighborhood watch sign, this push to quit sign, and this simplify sign. But what I decided to go with, and this is from a Graphic 45 pad, what I decided to go with was this write your own story. And I also consider that to be a bold typography. So we'll lay those aside. And this is going to be quite simple and quite neutral, like I said. So this is going to go like this. The background is music, which I already have on here. It has nothing to do with the prompts, except that there was a musical instrument involved. And since there was a musical instrument involved, I decided to use music in the background. Now, what's going to be a little bit unusual and a little bit different here is my something you find in a car and the musical instrument. So I have everything here so far because on this, you may have noticed, I don't know if you did or not, but there's like a postage stamp, and this is the wavy line that you often see on a postal stamp. So that's my wavy lines there. So this is just going to go on here like this. He's going to go on there like that. And then we need an instrument and something you find in a car. So I have gone with, well, let me show you what I considered. Let me smooth this aside. I had these little keys here. So I had keys. I decided keys was the easiest thing to do for something you find in a car. Because you can find anything in a car. You could find money. You could find writing pens. You could find maps. You could find all kinds of things in a car. Now, it doesn't specify whether it needs to be something you find in the car when the car is manufactured, or something you find in the car just when you go back to the car the next time you go to the car. It didn't say. So anyway, so I'm going with key, because that's in the car if you're driving the car. And then also I considered these puffy stickers from the Dollar Tree for my instrument, and I didn't like any of these. They just didn't. I couldn't make them fit and look well together. And I didn't like any of these keys. These two were not very flat. And so that was going to be a little bit bulky, although it's going to be a little bit bulky anyway. But that doesn't matter because it's not going in a book. But then I had this flat key, which I like. It has a heart on it, but it was a little bit, this top part was a little bit too massive for the instrument that I wanted to use. And I had some instrument charms that were a little bit bulkier, and I decided not to use those. So what I did decide to use is this. Looks like a trombone. I guess it's a trombone. And then I have a little tiny key. And I have put them on a chain. Because these are charms, metal charms, and this one's very flat. And the key is similarly flat, but not quite as flat. And I have them on this chain, and I have this Tim Holtz tiny brad that I don't know if you can see. I don't think you can see. It looks like a screw head. Yeah, there you go. Looks like a screw head. And that is going to go right in here. So I'm going to poke a hole in this to make that happen. So let me get the tool I like to make holes with. It's right here. And I'm going to stick it probably like right up here. And I'm doing it through this because then this will get glued down and the back won't show. And I have this tweezers on it because and I did this off camera because fiddly things are very hard for me to do because of arthritis. My fingers are just not as good as they used to be. I may not even be able to get this on here, but there it is. Yes, I did. Yay. Okay, let's see if this is going to be long enough. That was my other problem. Oops, sorry, I'm not in frame. Okay. I think that's going to be long enough. So we're just going to push these legs down like that. And then this will be here just like that. And we'll see how I like that. I don't usually do 3D things, but this just lent itself to that, so I did it. Now let's see, did that? I can't even tell if that did the right way. Let me put it down here. Let me take this. Nope, I think that's kind of crooked on there. Let me do it with a little spatula thingy. Let's take this one's a little stiffer. There. Okay, now can you see? that that is on there. I don't know if you can see that or not. There you go. And now it's on here. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on the back of that. And that's just behind me here. Oops. Oh. So I've got me a little piece of tape. I'm going to put it right on top of that. Even though I'm gluing it, I'm doing that because I just want to make sure that it isn't going to go anywhere. It isn't going to pull out. It's going to stay nice and tight and not be a problem. So that's going to be my collage. It is simple, like I said, simple and quick. And so I don't know how this is going to work. Let me look. So it'll be like that. And then it'll just go in my little box. So what I need to do this first is glue this down. So I've got my, I think this music is on the right way, yes. So I've got my background, which is the music, and I did the music background because of the instrument that is required. And I'm just going to glue this down. This came, like I said, from the Graphic 45 old paper pad called Typography. And since we were looking for a bold typography, I thought, well, this should answer that. So that's why I went with this. Get this over here, and this is going to go in here kind of like that. Let's make sure, I have to hold it up to the light to make sure that it is going to not be cutting off my word too much. And let's get my so this one's a little different, having this little 3D element in it. I have a whole little stash of things because I want to make a music journal someday. That's on my list of journals to make. And so I have a little stash of music items. And I just didn't see anything. There just wasn't anything that was really speaking to me about this. So these charms spoke to me more than anything. And this is my little story for this. Like I said, and I cut off the red. There was red around this, but it was just too massive and too big. And then I thought about putting another little bit of color around it. And then I decided, you know what? No, I kind of like the neutral. It's just vintagey, and I just kind of like the neutral. So we're just going with that. And this little guy, let's get him down because that's the last thing. And then I think I have everything. So let's get this down. And I'm sorry for being out of frame. When I was trying to get that charm thing on it, I had to bring it closer to me. And I apologize if you didn't see all of that, but hopefully you did. And let's just put this guy down right here. Just like that. I want him to be basically straight. And this is angled a little bit. There we go. So this little frame, it's like I showed you, is a little sticker frame, and it's kind of it's a plasticky something. Okay. So now the next thing to do is to ink around the edge with my frayed burlap. Let me get that. like a huge shadow right there. What is making that shadow, I wonder? I don't even know. Maybe it was my tissue was making that shadow. Okay, so let's ink around this. I like to give this a little definition, a little bit of a framing, and that's what the ink around the edge kind of does. Don't need it real heavy. So I don't know how I will like the 3D effect and how that will fit. Let me back you out just a little bit and how that will fit in my box. But I think it'll do okay because it hangs straight down basically. And I thought about gluing it, still putting it on there, but then also gluing it down. We'll see if that's going to happen, if that needs to happen, because I don't like things shifting around all over the place. So we'll see. But let me tell you my little story. He's in the military, and I believe he is the band leader. You know, the military, I think each branch has a band, you know, musical marching band kind of thing. And he used to play the trombone. I mean, not the trombone. Yeah, the trombone. I think that's what that's supposed to be. And he was so good and was good with people. So he became the director of the band. And so he has the keys to his car, of course, and he has keys to the building where they practice and so forth and so on. So that's where the key comes in. And he's writing his story. I'm going to say he's a military, career person, and that he's been in the military a long time, and he is writing his story about being in the military and being in the band leader for the military band. And that is kind of what I was thinking about when I put this together. So let's go over everything. It's very neutral. I like it. It's very vintage. This picture appears to me to be from the 1940s, probably, possibly, maybe even earlier, but that time frame, World War II time frame. So let's go over the prompts and let's make sure we have everything. Okay, something with wavy lines or a pattern. Okay, this has wavy lines right up here on this postage mark. Has wavy lines in it. A black and white photograph is our military band leader here. Something featuring a bold typography is also on where the wavy lines are, which is, says write your story. And musical instrument is this charm, which is, I believe, a trombone, I guess. I don't know all my instruments, but I think that might be what it is. But in any case, it is an instrument. As something you find in a car, well, we have a key charm right there. And that's just on a little chain with a Tim Holtz brad, tiny brad holding it. And then an oval is the frame that is holding this picture is oval, which then makes the picture be oval as well. So that is my collage for week 30. Again, go to hashtag 2025CWP30. You will see others and what they have done with these particular prompts. Now, I want to thank everyone who has come back to see me and watch my videos, excuse me, and comment, especially I love those. And I'd like to know what you think. Is this too neutral? I thought about putting a little color in, but I just didn't see any real good way to do that. And then did I really want to do that? I don't know. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Again, if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. Obviously, it doesn't cost anything. If you hit the notification bell, you'll get further videos from me, and you will see all the other videos for the rest of this year for sure. I have a playlist under Margarete Miller Collage Challenge, and I call it MM Collage Challenge is my playlist name, and you can see all of the collages I have done for this challenge for this year and for the previous 3 years. I have been doing this on YouTube, and you can see what you think about all of those. Various different sizes I have done, and I did a 4x4 little book. I did like a 5x7 or a 6x8 little book. I did a 5x5 little book. All the others are in books. This one I have decided to do like this with the coasters. And back in 2017, which I think I may do a short video, just one of those shorts, showing you some of my favorite ones that I did back in 2017 to 2020. That was when I was part of Margarete Miller's Facebook group. Vintage Glue Book and Pages, I believe it's called, and it's back now. It went away for a while, and she changed platforms. She's still on that other platform, which Collage Collective, I think it's called, something like that. But the Facebook page is now open again for you to share any other collages that you might want to share on there, so you can go look. And what was I saying? So you can go look at those videos and see all of those. And you can see the differences. Oh, and what I was saying is in 2017, when I started these Margarete Miller collages, I did them on 3x5 Rolodex cards. So I will do a short on those and just show you. So I have over 100, maybe 150 Rolodex cards that I have done these collages with, and with some other, just something I came up on my own. And I'll show you some of my favorite things, maybe in a shorts, and let me know if you'd like to see that. But anyway, let me know what you think about this one, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.